So what do you know about our next site that we're hitting here?
Well, I could not find a historical name on it. We're right in the gold and copper area of Nevada.
Okay.
And I believe that the farther, I guess it's north up here that we are, there's more gold, and as we head a little bit further south, there's more copper.
There's pretty healthy workings up here. Look at the size of that.
Yeah, look at the iron in them.
Yeah. If you were a miner out here, you were limited by your imagination, basically. Your imagination and your aptitude. You know, if you could get your materials out here to build, then you could go build. Holy
Yeah, that's a lot of,
God damn. That's awesome. That is a mine. I mean, we are in the back hills of the hills have eyes of Nevada out here, but that is pretty epic. Badass. So we are out here today doing some really off the beaten path surveys here. Some stuff that's really far off that hasn't been hit, and you think, oh, everything's been hit. Well, not the places the gold rush goes, and that's where we're at. This place appears to be probably 1990s the last time anybody was here doing anything. The building we're in here is a probably 1970s, 1980s, kind of like a modular type home, probably something that you got out of a kit from a Sears catalog, but there is some cool stuff in here. I mean, there's some old beds and frames. They're really, like, you usually see this stuff and it's all torn up by critters and animals, and it really hasn't gotten to that point yet. It hasn't been destroyed, it hasn't been damaged. So keep that in mind when you go out and you look at places. If you leave it in the same condition or better, then somebody else has something to come out and look at, and you don't just destroy history because, dude, we should shoot that! Fuck yeah, dude! You look like a dumbass and you destroy history. Let's go take a look at some more of this site out here. Come here, look at this. It's kind of rad. So, talk about something coming up and bite you in the ass. Something is going to come up and bite you in the ass here. Right? See that hole going right into it? Looks like some critter's just made himself a home there.
Yep.
That's where he goes in and out.
Yep.
It looks like that we've got credit cards that were a tough row to hoe in Sunday, April 28th, 1974. We get stash of newspapers. Just a mill. Some guys out here doing their own thing, probably one or two guys at some point. But kind of an example of what happens when the BLM stays out of your way and you're able to work and do stuff. You get genuine freaking Americana and people doing work, which is what happened.
Apron? That's like a worker's apron?
Totally. Lots of little pockets for stuff.
For your tools?
There's Steve's shirt. I found Steve's pants over here. So, yeah. Looks like Steve had a little blowout. Decided he didn't want his pants anymore. This is awesome because all of this sediment, like you really wouldn't think, and then you get here and look at this old door that used to be an access into the mill here. And I mean, it's 2.5 feet up it. That's freaking rad. Glass is in case there. Yeah, this mill is bitchin'. Awesome. So it looks like they're dumping in, doing some processing. It's coming down, coming through this gold screen. Looks like they're separating out all the big rocks right there. And then went into a finer processing below us and onto that conveyor that we saw. A lot of old belts, old jackets. If you notice in wandering around here, so you don't bust your leg or something else, I'm not going to walk on the middle of any of these. I'm going to walk on beams. And I'm going to keep 3 points of contact with something, just in case. There's a grizzly that was the rock separator before it went down to that screen. And that's what a bunch of these rocks up here are, just ones that were getting stuck in the grizzly, so they just pull them out, toss them. Very, very cool.
The Coal Springs Gold Mine is a rare site due to the fact that the mining camp and mill have been left nearly untouched. The property contains an intact cabin, as well as an old water tank, a workshop, an outhouse, a mill, and an old forge. All of this is in addition to at least 2 old shafts and an adit. All of which have been maintained and are in excellent repair. The mines on the claim have been consistently worked for gold since the 1920s. Native gold that appears on quartz and galena is prevalent. The mines were cut on a well-documented gold trend. The mines appear to be quite substantial along epithermal veins through the western slope of the mountain. The buildings on the site appear to have been untouched since they were left in 2010. They are only in need of a slight cleanup and repair. The mill houses some equipment for gold processing and will need a little rehabilitation to be functional. All in all, the Coal Springs Mine is a rare and one-of-a-kind site.